What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 11 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are using another really uncommon restricted, and that is Kyurem-White. So this is a really cool team. This was actually built for Series 8 by FlyingFalcons 7, and it made it all the way to second place for North America in the Players Cup for qualifiers. So in my mind, that's a really big deal because, I mean, one, it's just a huge accomplishment in general, and especially when you look at some of the team choices, you really understand, see how big of a deal that was. So first of all, we do have Kyurem. Kyurem, pretty straightforward, right? It's trying to just hit really as hard as it can, and it has the life orb for that. It has Blizzard, Draco Meteor, Earth Power, Protect, because you just kind of want to max this thing and just hit hard. Next up, we do have Aleki. Once again, pretty standard. Aleki, not really much to say. Aleki offers really good speed control and just does kind of what it does. Next up, we do have Metagross. So this is a weakness policy Metagross, something we haven't actually seen in a very long time with Protect, Ice Punch, Meteor Mash, and Stopping Tantrum. The main idea that Metagross is just so bulky that you don't really have to worry too much about getting hit, and then you can fire back with big, super effective attacks. Next up, we have Wimmy. So this Wimmy has Focus Sash. It also doesn't have Protect, which I think should be something worth considering on Whimsicott, but it does have Moonblast, Taunt, Helping Hand, and Tailwind. So using Helping Hand to get some really big attacks, Taunt to stop your opponent, Moonblast always really great coverage, and then finally Tailwind for some more speed control. Next up, we have Incin. So the moveset is pretty standard. It is Fake Out, Darkest Lariat, Flare Blitz, and Parting Shot. The one thing I think is really funny about this is the fact that it is Adamant Max Speed Incin. So this is a very offensive Incineroar, which is not something you see every day. And then finally, we do have Absol, right? Absol with Super Luck and Scope Lens with Night Slash, Close Combat, Play Rough, and Stone Edge. And here the idea is you're just trying to critical hit pretty much everything, and that can bypass things like Grimmsnarl, which is a huge threat, as well as screens from something like a Lapras. So we do have the code on the screen. We'll make sure to have the paste in the description. And with that, let's just get rocking and rolling and move into the first game. All right, battle number 1, and it is a Yveltal team. It is Whimsicott with Heliolisk, Incin, Amoonguss, Yveltal, and Landorus. So Kyurem is amazing here. I really like Kyurem Whimsicott. Nope, Kyurem Wimmy with what else do I want in the back? I like Absol. I think Absol has a place here, and then probably Regieleki for just even more speed control. But I think this 4 is really good, right? Kyurem actually has a super effective hit onto every single Pokemon on my opponent's side of the field, which is not really something you can say every day. Also, the triple ice or the quad ice. The quad ice really is not helping my opponent at all, as we will see Heliolisk Wimmy. So we get out Kyurem. I'm honestly tempted to just go for a blind Blizzard. As risky as that sounds, I'm gonna go for a Blizzard, and we are max speed. I'm gonna try to taunt their Wimmy. Oh, losing that speed tie is a really big deal. Glad we did not go for a trick or a max, as we will see a Thunderbolt come out onto Kyurem, which is going to force me out, which is fine. Wimmy has to go for an attack, so we can actually bring out let's bring out Aleki. Aleki can let us... What is... Heliolisk is like dry skin, right? I'm going to go for a Protect here and go for a Tailwind. Yeah, let's do that. Then I can pop out... I can use a Volt Switch to bring in Kyurem safely, as we will see a Heliolisk just straight switch out, as this is going to be Landorus. Landorus is fine. Landorus is fine. I kind of like Absol here, but there's no real good way to bring it out. Taunt to stop the potential Sword Stance. Yeah, you're gonna go into a Lucky. That's fine. Let's go for a Electroweb and Haunt. Yeah, let's do that. I want to sacrifice. I want to sacrifice the Aleki for a free switch in into. Oh, I can free switch in into Kyurem. What am I doing? Yeah, we have Tailwind up. We just need Aleki to go down because I don't want to pivot out into Kyurem with the fear of taking too much damage and having to go down. We are also going to stagger our max a little after theirs. Taunt onto you, that's fine. Electroweb, that's fine. I don't really care. I just want to hit their Wimmy for some pretty good amount of damage, all things considered. What? Max Airstream. Okay, Max Airstream into our Wimmy, which is annoying because that brings me down to Focus Sash. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we are going to see Life Orb. As Moonblast's going to come out onto... Oh, I really wish that was good. Onto Aleki. Aleki will live. I'm going to actually Thunderbolt here and go for a Moonblast onto your Landorus. Just trying to get a little damage. And given how much E-Web did, we might actually just KO this Whimsicott. As we are going to actually, yeah, we do KO Wimmy, which is really good for us. We will also get some chip onto Landorus. That's really good. And, okay, so Airstream... Kyurem is base 90, isn't it? That's annoying. Kyurem is the same base speed as Landorus, but that's fine. That's fine because of the fact that we're at almost full. Yeah, we're at almost full. So we can still utilize that to our advantage, right? Like Heliolisk. Heliolisk doesn't have the Tailwind boost. We can preserve Wimmy as well. That's actually worth considering. How many turns of Tailwind are left? We have one turn of Tailwind. So I'm going to go for a max Hailstorm here. And I'm going to switch out into Absol. Just with the idea that we can potentially set up a second Tailwind. We should live a hit from Landorus, right? What? Life Orb? If you're Life Orb, that suggests to me that you have Protect. So the question is, do you have... We know you have Airstream. We know you probably have Quake. Some Landos don't run. I actually should have Protected here. That would have actually been the correct play. Because then I could have stalled out your last turn of Max. Instead, I am being unnecessarily offensive. So this... I'm so not used to playing in Max format. Max Guard would have been the right play. Because now we're risking... I mean, Kyurem should live. Kyurem should live a Rockfall. Or we're just faster. That's fine. Okay. Bye-bye, Landorus. You're not max speed. That works out for me. So, Landorus goes away. Then you have Heliolisk, which isn't going to like a max Quake. And you have Yveltal, which is not going to... Parabolic Charge. What? What is that attack? I've never heard of that. Parabolic. I'm assuming it's its signature move. The user attacks everything around it. The user's HP is restored by half the damage taken by these hits. That's absurd. Oh, interesting. We max Quake here and go for a Stone Edge here just to try and show off a little bit of what we can do. As we will see glare. Oh, I forget this stupid thing has glare. This thing is annoying. Stone Edge comes out. Please get that critical hit. Show off what I can do. That's a crit. Love it. Absol cleaning up. And And now as long as we, yep, Max Quake, this should definitely be a pretty easy KO onto Heliolisk as, yep, nice. So glad we were able to take this one. I know that there were definitely some scary moments. I think not bringing, what's it called, not bringing their restricted for Ensign was an interesting play. I kind of get why, right? Like, so much of your team is weak to Kyurem, you don't really have a good option. But I think the big thing for us was the fact that Landorus was slower than Kyurem, and that really put us in a dominating position. But overall, still really good first battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Calyrex Shadow Rider. It is Calyrex Wimmy with Landorus, a Thundurus, Tapu Fini, and Rotom. Instant. So we have a lot of dark types here. So Absol, I like Absol. Does Absol have? No, Absol has Night Slash. I kind of like Absol lead. I like Absol Wimmy as a lead with Kyurem, and then probably Alecki, right? I'm thinking Alecki. Let's go with Alecki in the back, just because I think the speed control is really nice, and we also don't really have a good answer into Tapu Fini. So I'm hoping that we can kind of utilize the Alecki really just for that. And I don't think that that's necessarily like the worst use of bringing Regieleki. And so Absol, I think, is in a really good position, right? Like Stone Edge has the chance to be huge, and yeah, if we can crit their Thundurus, I don't know if we get a KO, but I think that would be really cheeky. So we'll see. Absol obviously putting on just a ton of pressure overall, and not really something my opponent should be prepared for, and we'll see like how that kind of carries through. So leads, we are gonna see Wimmy Thundurus. So I'm down to just try a straight Tailwind and Stone Edge. Yeah, let's try just Tailwind Stone Edge. If we hit the Stone Edge, we're great. If not, sad. We could try to taunt. We could try the same strategy of taunting the Whimsicott. We are going to see Max Thundurus. If we win the speed tie, we are in. If we win the speed tie, we're great, because that means that we can bring out Kyurem safely, because one Airstream won't be enough. That gives us a free Hailstorm. So overall, I think it's worth the risk. As oh, sick! We get the taunt off onto you. The issue though is if you're Mental Herb, as you are not. Oh, you just straight went for a Moonblast. That's bad. Sigh. That's fine. You're not setting up weather. This means that I can bring a Kyurem-White. Yeah, I can bring a Kyurem pretty safely and go for a Tailwind. Okay, and your Life Orb. Your Life Orb is huge, because that means we can bring out Kyurem. We can go for a Tailwind and a Max Hailstorm. Yeah, Tailwind, Max Hailstorm into Thundurus. I think even if you max guard, that's fine. We do this. Nope. We do this, and we click Tailwind. So my opponent made a really good turn 1 read. I could have gone just straight for a Tailwind, like I considered, because I think preserving Absol would have been huge. We do have Alecki in the back, and we are going to get really big. We are going to see a straight swap, which makes sense. In comes Rotom. Rotom, I don't care about. So we know my opponent's for. Yeah, we do have Turbo Blaze or whatever it's called. Yeah, Turbo Blaze, which means that we can still Max Quake into Rotom, which is big, but I want to target into what's it called? Into your other thing way more. We are going to have our Tailwinds or they're going to have the ability to stagger their Tailwind, which is sad, as we will see just no max guard. So that's also really good for us, as we will be able to just connect a big max Hailstorm onto you. Hopefully this should pick up the KO, as, yep, that looks like a KO. Right. I can't really see. Okay, perfect. We get the KO there. We do have a Lecky. A Lecky is, I think, going to be really huge. We can also go for... Okay, so if you bring out... Let's think about this. If you bring out Calyrex... No, if you bring out Calyrex, it's... Calyrex is scary. Calyrex is scary. No, Calyrex is fine because then you don't get Tailwind. So you should bring out Wimmy here. Right? You should bring out... Yep, you're going to bring out Wimmy. That's fine. I'm going to... go for a max... Nope. I'm going to max Quake onto Rotom and go for a... I'll go for a Thunderbolt onto Wimmy. Just because it gets damage onto it. And, like, Regieleki with Magnet does still do a pretty sizable chunk. So I'm hoping to actually, like, use that to our advantage and, like, get a really big, like I said, just chunk of HP off of their Wimmy, and then it'll be Calyrex where they can't max. We'll have a special defense boost, and that'll really help us. So yeah, we are gonna see Tailwind. Thunderbolt, I think, should do like 50%, given the fact that we saw that it looks very offensive Wimmy. Yep, that's great damage. You are eject button, so eject button is fine. We can Thunderbolt it the next turn, and yeah, we can double up into it. We will have the advantage of the speed control, or not the speed control, the special defense boost, as we will hit this max Quake, yep, into Rotom. This should hopefully be a knockout. Yep, okay, that's perfect, which means that we have the ability to get the special defense boost to hopefully survive an Astral Barrage, and then we can double up into their Calyrex pretty well, right? We have the special defense boost, so we are also really big, which means Astral Barrage should not pick up a KO. We have also, what is the word? We've also gotten special, yeah, we have the special defense boost. We have a ton of HP. We're also very big, so we're fine. Wimmy, I can pretty much ignore for now, and just, yeah, Wimmy is not going to do anything. I'm going to Hailstorm into you as well as go for a Thunderbolt here, and I can't really see how... Yeah, I mean, it could be Specs. That's like your only hope, is like Specs Calyrex. No, that's fine. We also do get a Lucky Paralysis, which in the end isn't going to matter. We do take a Moonblast, and yeah, looking at how little that did, we should comfortably live the Astral Barrage at -1. That's, or at +1 special defense. That's going to let us get the KO onto Calyrex, and now we know that Regieleki is faster and has a guaranteed KO onto the Wimmy with Thunderbolt, so we are going to be able to take this one. So it's very clear why this team did so well. A little bummed that we didn't get to show off Absol. They did just immediately target down into it, but Kyurem definitely is one of those picks that I feel really... I'm not excited to use, but I think this team has really sort of changed my mind about it, as they are just going to stay in and finish it. So yeah, like a really cool take on it, and it is just such a great way of using such an underutilized restricted, and to have such an incredible result of going, I think, 29-7 during the Players Cup 4 qualifier just says a lot. So overall, just a really fun game, and with that, let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is Eternatus. It is Eternatus Oranguru with Zapdos, Suicune, Blastoise, and Duraludon. Let's bring Absol. We could do what? Absol. I like Absol Kyurem with Metagross Ensign. I think that's probably our best bet. We do have to be a little bit cognizant of what is Duraludon's speed. Duraludon should be slower than Duraludon. I might have spelled that wrong. Duraludon. How do you spell this thing's name? Okay, I spelled it right. Ooh, it's a gorgeous shiny. unrelated to anything. Let's see its speed. Yeah, okay, so it is slower than Kyurem, which is a big deal. We do have Metagross, which I think is very relevant for Glastrier. We also do have Absol. And so, okay, so Eternatus with Oranguru. I don't know what to expect. I could just Hailstorm? I could Night Slash here. And max Hailstorm the Kyurem. Or what? Metagross? Metagross does have Stomping Tantrum. I'm going to actually just Draco Meteor. In the event you try to just Dynamax, because you are faster. So if you like Dynamax Cannon, I don't really want to take that chance. We are going to see Oranguru just straight swap out into Suicune. That's fine. Metagross is, I think, a good answer for... Yep, we are going to see just a straight Dynamax Cannon. So I don't think it was worth taking that chance onto Kyurem. Kyurem probably going to go down. Yeah, that's fine. We have Metagross. Metagross, I think, is a good enough answer into a lot of this. We are going to see Life Orb, which is important, as Night Slash going to come out, hoping for that big critical hit onto Suicune. No critical hit. Oh, that is... Okay, that's a crit. We can bring up Metagross here. We know the rest of your team is fairly special. I cannot believe that did so little. That is an Adamant max attack. Critical hit, stab. Max Darkness here as we go for a Quake. Let's go for a Quake onto you, right? We know that you have a good amount of special attackers with Suicune and, well, Oranguru is not really a special attacker, but yeah. And if you have what's it called? Glastrier, we kind of just need to force it out. And I'm really hoping that if you try to Flamethrower into, you could just Dynamax Cannon into Metagross, knowing that I could have a weakness policy. So what we're gonna see, yep, Dynamax Cannon. This might go into Absol. Nope, this looks like into Metagross. Oh, into Absol. Please live. Absol. Absol does not live. Tailwind on Suicune, or Tailwind from Suicune, or go for a Snarl. That's a slow Suicune. Max Quake comes out, gets the KO. Perfect. We still have Incin. We do have an offensive Incin, so we do have that going for us. Scald. Makes sense. That's awkward. Incin does have Throat Chop, which I think could be enough to get... Is that a Porygon too? Oh no, it's a Oranguru. Okay. Oh. That's Pressure Suicune. That's a big piece of information. Because I can do this, and I can go for a Steel Spike onto Oranguru. I should have doubled up into the Oranguru. Yeah, because you had your attack drop, so you are Pressure Suicune. We get the Steel Spike off. It's a good amount of damage. We should actually be faster with Incin. I should have gone for a Quake, actually, to take the Scald. As Yawn comes out into Incin, I want to still go for a Darkest Lariat. I don't actually see how we can come back from this. I'm going to Darkest Lariat here and go for a Steel Spike onto Oranguru. Right? We can't actually deal with Suicune. I didn't expect Absol to go down as quickly as it did. I think our lead was a little weak, as yeah, we're doing pretty much nothing. You should go for a Scald onto Incin. Oh wow, this is a very slow Suicune. Let's see, we should get the KO here. Boom, we do get the KO. I do expect it to be Glastrier in the back, right? We will see a Calm Mind. Okay, so this is Crokun? We can start parting shotting into... We can parting shot the Suicune, as it's probably going to be Glacier in the back. Oh, Ensign was yawned. Haha. Ha 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 ha. Yep, it is Horse. So that's bad. We are guaranteed to sleep this turn. We can Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz here, just to pretend. Protect Metagross, right? Because if you... We need you to proc the policy. Because I could be Assault Vest, right? I haven't revealed Protect. And so what I need you to do is I need you to proc my policy to get me to +2 on Metagross, which then lets me fire off a Steel Spike in return. That's really my only out, but like I said, I don't see... There's no way we can beat this Suicune. Especially, yeah, now that we saw Calm Mind, I think... Oh, yeah, stop. Stop that, please. What? If you... Like I said, I need you to Quake into Metagross. That's a Steel Spike. That's not what I needed. It did 5 damage, though. We'll take that. Yeah. You are just trying to... We can just go for the double up. Ugh. That burn. We go for the Flare Blitz onto you as well as a Meteor Mash. And we hope for... Okay, Metagross Meteor Mash. I mean, at this point, Suicune should just be able to clean up pretty easily. I don't know why you're still Calm Minding. I'm just trying to think, right? There wasn't really a good argument for a Lecky, and I think my main issue was leading Kyurem and just straight up sacrificing it to their Eternatus. Whereas we could have, I think that there were much better leads. I think Wimmy would have been a good lead here. What we could have done is we could have done Wimmy with Metagross, or Wimmy Kyurem to try and set up, and then go for Blizzard to try and deal with them. But still, overall, I think a really good set of battles. This was just a really hard one, and we didn't have a lot of good answers. I am, though, curious about a potential spread on their team. So let's see if their team is available. If not, not a big deal. No. Okay, that's fine. But overall, we did have some really good battles with this team. Excited to play some more with it tomorrow. Definitely make sure to check out Adi's channel where he talks about the team in depth. And yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of